Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here. Merry Christmas if you celebrate, although this will come out technically probably after Christmas is over. This will get loaded. But, Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good holiday anyways, again, if you celebrate. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the roadmap that World of Warcraft released. Now, obviously, I'm very late to this. This isn't for clicks or anything. I just wanted to get my opinion out on it because there are very pertinent things that I talk about a lot on this channel on this roadmap. And it's like 3 or 4 days ago now when this roadmap came out. And so I'm just going to talk about it a little bit here. So I'm on the Wowhead page that they put an article up about the roadmap. And if you've, most people have probably already heard about it, but I'm still going to break it down just in case you haven't. Maybe you're like me, you've been dealing with a bomb cyclone, a winter storm, cascading over the U.S., and then have Christmas right after that. So maybe you've, been a little bit off the internet, off of WoW and stuff for a few days, like I have. The highlights that WoW had made about this are 6 content patches planned for 2023, evenly spaced. Out of these, 2 of them will be major ones. Those are the point ones that we know about, 10.1, 10.2, including new zones, raids, and seasonal rewards. The other 4 content patches will contain new world events, system updates, holidays, dungeon stuff, narrative chapters, cinematics, and will serve as a step towards that next major patch. Patch 10.5, we'll call it, is 10.0.5, but we'll just call it the 0.5 patch. So there's 0.5 patches and 0.7 patches now. Estimated winter 2022, but it's releasing in 2023. It's the trading post, the primeless future content, white and gray transmogs, patch 10.07, estimated spring 2023. It's return to the Forbidden Reach, human and orc heritage armor, and holiday updates. We can actually just look at this on the chart. I'll pull up the chart. They're just basically naming everything. So I don't know why they put the highlights. There's a really nice message here from Holly Longdale. If you want to read that, you can check it out. Again, you just would look up World of Warcraft, roadmap, Wowhead, or you can just go to Wowhead's page. It's one of the main articles towards the top. Very good statement by Holly. If you watch my channel at all, I've been super supportive of Holly. Basically, since she has gotten a role, she's like former RuneScape, I think. And once she's gotten a role, like a authoritative role here in World of Warcraft, the game has simply skyrocketed up. This woman, this person just knows MMOs coming from RuneScape, knows the audience, and the game has been so much better since she has had a position of power, and I'm thankful she's here, and I hope that she is teaching people under her, her thought process, her methods, because obviously you don't stay, it's unlikely she's going to stay with Blizzard the rest of her career. Maybe she will. That would be great. And even so, maybe she'll retire or something. So hopefully that we have someone that can fill in for her that has that same passion, that same vision that she has. Let's pull up this roadmap. I think I can make it bigger. Yeah. So this is the actual roadmap they're basically talking about earlier in their highlight thing. So the trading post. I mentioned this very shortly on a video. The trading post is this thing coming out that it kind of looks like a battle pass. I was right. So I completely speculated before anything was released about this. I'm like, it kind of sounds like it's going to look like a battle pass. And it does. It's not like a pay to win battle pass. It's not like a free track and a pay track, but it works along the same methods. Imagine if you just had the free track of a battle pass. That's kind of how it works. And you can earn like really cool stuff though by just playing the game, right? Go do these things and you'll earn these cool rewards. That's really cool. That's something that is great. Well, some people hate that it's like in a battle pass setup. Yeah, but that's just kind of like how, developers are learning to do things, right? They're like, oh, we'll just put it in a battle pass track. We have Primalist tomorrow. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's like a quest or something. The white and gray transmogs are something people have been waiting for a lot, and I'm actually pumped about it a lot too. There's a lot of really simple but cool transmogs. What I'm mostly going to focus on here is, because all this stuff is kind of just regular stuff, the major patches, of course, profession updates, which is good, coming. But the holiday updates, this is what I'm going to spend the rest of the video talking about. So we have holiday updates in 10.0.7. We have world events in 10.1.5, and we have holiday refresh and 10.1.7. So these are the things that I talk about a lot on this channel about making the game more playable, making the game more stuff to do, right? The dead time. I always talk about the dead time during the dead time of what they should be doing. And holiday, there's two different holiday things: a holiday refresh, holiday updates. I talk about these all the time. There's some really good holidays in World of Warcraft, like these little events, but there's just not much to do. There's like an hour or 20 minutes of content, and doing it more than once doesn't make sense to do. And the reward is very small to nothing. Sometimes there's like no reward, and it's just very easy to make this better, right? So let's talk about a major holiday that we're in right now, the Christmas holiday, Winter Veil. And something that would make this holiday so cool, in my opinion, is if there was like a giant Yeti world boss, right? This world boss would have a low chance to drop a mount, a low chance to drop like a really cool transmog, and like a low chance to drop maybe like an item that's actually relevant in current content, right? And all this stuff could be rare, and what you don't want to make it like impossible rare, like how the Love Rocket used to be, and they changed it. But you'd want it to be somewhat rare, right? To make it kind of cool, but not impossible. Like there's a line between those two things, and I think you could have it be just this cool thing like that. Just imagine like a giant Yeti, like literally giant, like Ragnaros size or something, like a world boss, and it has simple but strong abilities, and you just kill it and you get cool stuff. Something like that. Like I think that's just something like Wintervale already has a decent amount of stuff to do, but it could use updates on its achievements and stuff like that. But like having something like that just makes it a little bit cooler, makes it a little bit more epic or whatever. And then you have like a minor holiday. So there's a boat race, a Thousand Needle boat race. This came out after Thousand Needles became a water place instead of a desert, or a salt, whatever it was. And so Thousand Needle boat race. So imagine if there was like a giant Kraken world boss in that one, right? That you fought while you were on a boat, even like the boats had special abilities, and it was like a Malagos fight from Wrath of Lich King, and like you had just pressed buttons and you fought it, and again, just a fairly small chance to drop really cool stuff, and to go along with other stuff, and like you could just add stuff to it, like add achievements, add this stuff, add a pet, add this, add that, and there's so many of these things, and there's potential for them, and not all of them have to be a world boss either. Like Hollow's End is one of the more successful holidays, like without revamp. And the Headless Horseman, people generally like that. I think you could obviously update the rewards fairly often, or even every year, for the Headless Horseman, while still keeping maybe some of the traditional ones as a chance to drop as well. Or you can make the traditional ones purchasable with a holiday currency, so that way eventually everybody could just have it, and then you have new rewards to work for. I think that kind of thing is fine as well. But I love the idea of this. World events, I kind of see world events probably as similar to holidays. Maybe they're going to go away from the term holiday. Like a world event, the Thousand Needles boat race, right? That's a holiday on the calendar, but it's kind of more like an event. So I don't know if that's what they mean by that, by having like more of these events and not call them holidays anymore. But regardless of what it is, like this is the kind of content I'm talking about. Obviously, the Darkmoon Faire is something I talk about a lot on this channel, and I obviously want to see that revamped in a lot of ways. I think they've opened up potential by doing the instance portals, like with the dance thing that they added recently. Like you don't actually have to physically. So the Darkmoon Faire is a little bit kitschy because it's a little bit old school, a little bit clunky. When you play the games, you're actually like in the fair still playing the games. Like everyone's around you, you're literally just doing it, and it's like you're not like in a different instance or anything. And it's a little bit clunky because of that, and it's very old. It's very old. Like it just feels old. The turtle toss, the turtle ring toss, like all that feels very, very old, right? But they've opened the door with like instant stuff to where you can make it newer, you can make it feel better, make it feel cooler as a player to do. I think there's room for maybe some stuff to stay outside. Like maybe they could add a dragon race outside, dragon riding race outside on the Darkmoon Faire. But you could also have dragon riding races that you go in an instance thing, right? To do them at the fair. Like it takes you to like a land that made just for dragon races that they put in just for the Darkmoon Faire. These are all things too. Like maybe the Darkmoon Faire, I mean, that's considered a world event. So maybe something like that could be updated. Maybe they'll add another similar but different thing to the Darkmoon Faire into the game. I think all these things are just like such great ideas, and I hope they have the manpower to put them in now. I know a lot of the problem before is they're designing all these new systems every single patch, and you have every patch is almost like a mini expansion when you do that, and not doing that, I think it leaves this um opportunity. I think opportunity is the best word. It leaves like an opportunity to create this different type of content for players who just want to play the game, right? A lot of people just kind of want to play the game, and not like be like, okay, I guess I'm gonna try to do a mythic plus 27 or something like that. I've grinded all the way up to this level, and it's not always competitive, right? Some people just want to have fun sometimes, and I'm someone who's not big into playing just for fun. I'm a bit of a try hard. You could definitely say that in every single game in every single genre, but there are times where even I like to have fun, where I like to Fallout 76 is not a very loved game, but I actually had a lot of fun playing it. I haven't played it in quite a while now. But that's a game where I would actually enjoy logging in and just going and clearing out a camp of enemies, just destroying them with headshots and all my perks and everything like that in the game, and not really accomplishing anything, but just going through and just having that satisfying feeling of doing it. It's like if you're a ranked player, a high ranked player in a shooting game and an FPS game, playing like an unranked match against opponents who are normally less good. Or if you're smurfing, right? Let's say you're a you're doing smurfing. They often call that, right? So doing that can just be fun, and sometimes it can just be fun to play. You can play a champion or a hero or whatever in a game where maybe their win rate isn't as high, but they're more fun to play, right? And I think that's important, and that's what WoW kind of doesn't have, because it doesn't have like that different thing. Like, yeah, you can play a different class, but you need to make the alt experience really fun, which is what they've tried to do as Dragonflight. But they don't have like this, oh, I'm just going to do this for fun. I'm actually just going to log on for an hour, and I'm going to do the world boss on like 3 different characters, and I'm going to work on the achievement, and then I'm going to work on the achievements for the rest of the week. And I end up getting like, let's say 5 hours of playtime in a week, just from having a better holiday event, right? And that's what kind of, I think, what a lot of people would like to see in the game, especially casual players. I am a tryhard, but I have like this casual heart in me. Like, I just have this, there's like a casual inside of me that likes to get out every once in a while. And I really like to see this direction for the game. Obviously, how could I, someone who constantly talks about holidays and Darkmoon Faire and all that, how could I not, like this, right? It's basically they're taking my idea, and I don't know if they're going to execute it. I don't know if they're going to have the execution that I would have if I knew how to do it and I was in charge of it. We can only, that's what will ultimately be judged by, is their execution. But I love the idea, and I'd be a hypocrite if I said anything else. So very much looking forward to this. Very much love that they put this out there. They're starting to understand the players better. Again, I think a lot of that has to do with Holly Longdale. So yeah, that's it for this one. I know I'm super late to this, but again, just wanted to put my thoughts out on it. So as always, I do ask you please subscribe to the channel. Helps me out a lot. Other than that, everybody have a good one.